What's up, guys? Chris from Review Cave here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions of One Piece Chapter 970, Oden versus Kaido. And I'll be honest, this was a really good chapter. We start off with Oden just making it to the capital and to meet Kaido and his entire army, and Kaido's just not standing, flying there in his dragon form, staring down Oden, and literally give us one big piece of information from the previous two chapters that was a lie. So apparently, when Oden came back, Kaido Kaido respects Oden, which I have to say is really cool because Kaido is a force to be reckoned with. He doesn't really show respect to not many people. He even says that Oden reminds him of Whitebeard and Roger, and I can see by the end during this chapter, I can see that Oden is at around their level. I wouldn't say like right at their level, not as strong as them. I mean, we don't know for sure, but we can see from this chapter that Oden is around at least Yonko level. And this is honestly something that I've been excited to see. I mean, I expected a few more panels and stuff for the actual fight against Kaido, but I was overall excited about it. I was satisfied. Now, the big piece of information that Kaido ended up lying about was, in fact, that they were outnumbered. Kaido didn't have the numbers to take on Oden and his men. Oden and his men had like the numbers back then with all the samurai in Wano, and with Oden backing them as their commander, they probably wouldn't have been able to take down Kaido's whole army, regain power of Wano, and even defeat Kaido probably. It would still be a tough battle, but Kaido decided to play the long haul. He wanted to make it so that Oden, whenever give Oden a hard choice, where he danced like a fool in the middle of the town square in Curry for 5 whole years instead of having to risk the lives of his people against Kaido. But then when he heard that when his friend's wife was killed, that snapped him because he thought that his decision was going to keep everyone he loved and cared about safe. But Oden just decided that with that, Kaido and Orochi can't be trusted with their words. I'm just going to go straight there and attack and take them down. And I really did enjoy that in the chapter. Kaido admitting that he was probably going to lose if at the moment Oden returned to Wano. He decided to gather the samurai, gather all his forces to retake the capital instead of just charging in on his own like he did when he first came back. Kaido probably would have lost. Orochi wouldn't have become the shogun. Things would have been great in Wano. And Momonosuke probably would have been the new shogun by this point. Who knows? But Kaido played it smart. He lied about specific things. For instance, his numbers, his weapons, etc. And even the death of the Yakuza boss. He was actually we found out later on that he was imprisoned. So what happens is that Kaido made it so that over the course of the 5 years that Oden was dancing, he was slowly gaining more forces, becoming a lot stronger, getting more of his men in Wano, increasing his numbers and getting rid of more and more samurai slowly over the years. That way Oden wouldn't have anything to do. So Oden for this attack was planning on taking on Kaido on his island off that whole Demon Skull Island. Like right now in the main timeline of the story, where Momo and the rest of the rebellions, along with Luffy and everyone, were supposed to go and attack Kaido on the day of the Fire Festival. So you can see the type of symbolism, where not only was in the main story that, in like the present time of the story of One Piece, where it was essentially the best time for them to attack, but it's also somewhat symbolic because at this point they were doing pretty much similar to the same plan as what Oden was going to do originally. The only difference is that they were going after Kaido from Luffy and everyone were going after Kaido from the start instead of going through the capital. Oden was going to go through the capital, take back control, take down Orochi, and then get all the samurai and all the other like ninjas and everything, and go and take down Kaido right afterwards. That way his forces are strong. But Kaido, due to his lies and his wit, for what we could see, he planned for this and had all of his forces meet Oden and his vassals at the capital. With an epic battle, Shinobu even joining in the middle of the fight, stating that she is sorry that she couldn't like help them at all beforehand, and now she's there to fight with them. So Oden ends up attacking everyone. Kinemon, Kanjuro, Raizo, Dongstrom, Cat Viper, everyone. They all end up taking down a good chunk of Kaido's forces. And it's admitted that Kaido underestimated all of them. They were pretty much decimating all of their forces. They were decimating Kaido's forces. That is something that me, as a reader of the series, I really did enjoy. I knew that Oden wasn't going to be in for a easy fight, but the fact that even Kaido and his forces, like how around like 19 years ago, at this 20, most likely 20 years ago at this point, from the main story, is that Kaido was still ended up underestimating Oden, despite him having a good chunk of respect for the guy, and prepared for an eventual rebellion from Oden himself. This is honestly something really great. And then the inevitable clash between Oden and Kaido, which again I expected it to be a bit longer, like at least another 2 to 3 pages worth of a fight, because Oden was around Kaido's level. But we actually get to see the moment where Oden manages to leave the permanent scar on Kaido. Oden uses his own two-sword style. I forgot what his name, like Sakura something. I need to reread that again. But he uses his two-sword style. It takes up basically it takes up a good chunk of a page, like two pages, one big image, and he manages to cut Kaido. Even his soldiers around are in shock and awe at the fact that this man alone managed to injure a guy that everyone else pretty much saw was unbeatable, immortal. Because the guy at this point in the story has never been injured. No physical injury has been sustained on his body. This is something that everyone at that moment was shocked of, and that's something that us readers have only heard about, and now we got to see it. But that moment that we were looking forward to, we from that page, we believe that it's going to be an even bigger fight, because from the injury that Kaido got, we believe that Oden's going to like at least deal some more damage. But we all know that he ends up losing. But how he lost was honestly, I don't know if it was the most clever way of doing it, but I can respect and I'm okay with it. So the exact same person that had like the Bon Clay's clone fruit in the past ended up disguising herself as Oden's son and having Orochi threaten to kill his son. Oden, for that split second, fell for it, giving Kaido the opening to take him down. And with that, Oden and all his forces were beaten and taken down. With Oden out of commission from that one hit, everyone else didn't stand a chance. Dogstrom and Viper weren't at the strength that they are right now. Even though they're both injured, they're still immensely more powerful since it's been 20 years, and we all know that with given enough time, a character can become a lot stronger over the course of like 2 decades. But yeah, they're all captured, and it's stated throughout the capital that they're to be sentenced to be boiled to death. And that's how the chapter ends. Everyone is all our main characters, Oden and his vassals, are all in prison. Which means we'll most likely have only one or two more chapters at least. At least that's from my experience of reading through some flashback arcs when it comes to Oda. But with Oden, I feel like Oda's going to try and take his time with it. There's still a lot more we got to go on. Like Toki and Momo are supposed to be in the castle as it burns down, where Kinemon and Kanjuro get taken to the future with Raizo and Momo, and Odin's eventual death. Dogstrom and Viper managing to get away and book it back to Zao to prepare for what happens next. There's just a lot that we have to look forward to, and I feel like at least 2 chapters is enough to give us that kind of information. But if I had to guess how many more chapters to get back to the main story of Act 3, I feel we got at least 5 at most maybe 5 to 6 more chapters to depict what's going on. Because while I do like the Oden flashback arc, I feel like it's kind of been rushed a bit. I mean, I get why Oda is probably doing this because he wants to avoid another Dressrosa, making the arc too long, adding too much information into this one arc. But I feel like his time with Whitebeard or Roger could have been expanded by another chapter or 2, right? And his battle with Kaido could have taken at least half or most of the chapter, that to really get the sense of where Oden and Kaido were at that point in time. So, but yeah, that's just my opinion. This chapter overall was honestly really good, and I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this. One Piece just keeps getting better and better, and I can't wait to see the epic conclusion to this flashback, and then get back to the main story and find out what happened to Luffy and everyone else, and who this traitor could end up being, and how the Big Mom and Kaido alliance in the present time could end up being affected, could end up affecting the actual Straw Hat Samurai Mink alliance. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on after just reading the current chapter of One Piece. What did you guys think of this chapter? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it everything you expected, or you think Oda could have done at least another 1 or 2 pages of Kaido and Oden fighting to help get a sense of Oden's strength at this point in time? Anyway, leave everything in the comments below. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I'll be doing more of these videos for One Piece especially, since it's my favorite. But yeah, hope you guys have an awesome day.